are looking to get in traditional just like I did this year, just maybe you want to try it out, I should have purchased this bow right here first. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Papaw's place. As always, this is your first time here. Thanks for dropping in. Feel free to drop in anytime you feel, my friend. Guys, I'm out here today with my Sanlida Hermit X8 ILF bow. Now, the video before y'all seen, I had opened this up, but I've got it all tuned in and been shooting it a few days. And now I'm finna tell y'all what I've learned about this bow and what I like about this bow and what I think y'all may want to hear about this bow. But y'all see my little setup out here. I got this set up because where I want to shoot deers at 15 yards or under. So I got it set up where I can start out. Of course, I can step back and make it any yardage I want, but I got me a little triangle going on here with 3 targets. That way I shoot in one direction, I can shoot the other direction, just like that buck deer over there. I can shoot from here that way, having a quarter and away shot. Makes for good practice. Now, if I walk over here, and I want to shoot a broadside shot, I can shoot that target, or I can shoot this target over here and kind of have a quarter and to me shot. But I'm going to tell you, practicing on targets like this will make you a better hunter instead of just shooting at a target with a dot on it. Even though that's just a pasteboard cut out of a deer, it still got the deer's body, got my little line for his shoulder and where you supposed to be hitting that deer. Now that right there, target's made out of some indoor-outdoor carpet, which makes for great targets. Now I've shot carpet rolls like that all my life, especially before I moved to this place. You just can't shoot a broadhead in it, but it'll last forever. The winds are blowing a little bit out here, but I'm gonna get y'all up here close and we're gonna talk about this Sanlida Hermit X8 bow here. Well, actually, we're gonna come in here in the shed because the wind's getting up so bad outside. And I was wearing a microphone when I was out there shooting, just to try to kill the wind noise. But guys, I've been shooting this bow the last few days, and I'm gonna tell you, this is one flat out shooter. Sanlida knows what they're doing when they're building their bows. Now, how I ended up on my final setup and what I was shooting out there today, if y'all watched the first part of this video when I got this and unboxed it and put it together, and I said I was going to set me up some arrows for hunting arrows, and I was talking about the Sanlida Dragon arrows, I couldn't get my weight, tune them, and keep my weight up the way I wanted it, closer to 500 grains. But for practice arrows, I got these Dragon 8s tuned, and they got a 50 grain insert and 125 grain tip. And the total weight here is right at 380, nope, 374. Let me weigh the other one. That one says 374.9. So we just say 375 grain arrow. And after I finished getting this set up, and with my draw length, I was pulling somewhere in the ballpark of 48 pounds. Shot it through the chronograph out there, and these arrows are shooting 193 to 195 feet per second. That's pretty daggum good. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fun shooting a trad bow when it's really fast like that. Now I know that's too light an arrow to hunt with, because that's what I started out trying to do this year. But after getting it set up, I ended up with my final setup. I'm gonna measure it to make sure it stayed there. Today, a 7 3/4 inch brace height. On the tiller, I ended up with right at an 1/8 of an inch positive. It's so close to an 1/8 of an inch, I can't read the difference. Positive tiller on top. After playing around with the flipper rest, I decided to go back to the shelf. And then when I went back to the shelf, of course I'm setting it up for hunting, I put my arrow holder in there. Now, just in case you ain't seen it in any of my other videos, my arrow holder here, instead of having them straps that come around and clip on your arrow, I got an arrow holder right here. It's nothing more than a piece of wire, and I used a piece of that tubing. I've changed it up since the first video I done on making these. You know, the tubing on the old compound bows that used to go from your peep sight down to your bow to keep your peep sight aligned. I got the little piece of wire running through that, and that's up under the Velcro, and that really works out great because it does two things. It gives you a little hump. Just say like this bow ain't got that big of a radius on its shelf. You put that under there and it raises that arrow, so it's only got a contact right where it's sitting on that tubing. You raise that little wire right there up when you hang your stand bow in a stand. Your arrow can't fall off. It can move back and forth, but it ain't gonna fall off. You hear a deer come and just take your thumb, push that down, and you ready to shoot. I like that better than anything I've seen on the market for sale. So I got it set up like that, and also I backed off here about 2 turns because 48 pounds is still a little stout for me. So now I got it back down to about 44 pounds, which matches 2 of my other trad bows, and I've actually been shooting pretty good with it, guys. Now I done some experimenting being an ILF bow, guys, you ain't gonna buy an ILF bow and be as quiet as a one-piece recurve bow. It's no way possible. I don't care who makes it, because your limbs, when you shoot your bow, actually it's got a pivot right here. And tightening this screw down don't do nothing. Don't think you're gonna get one and tighten that screw all the way down and your limb ain't gonna pivot. That has nothing to do with it. It's still gonna pivot whether that screw's tightened all the way down or not. You tighten it down and say, I'm gonna tighten the crap out of it, all you're gonna do is end up busting your riser. That has nothing to do with it. Now we'll take it apart here in a little bit and I'll show you that. Now yes, that limb may not pivot as much when it's run all the way down as it does if it's backed off a couple rounds to lower your poundage. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying an ILF bow, the way they're built, even though this is the first one I've owned, it's common sense when you take it apart and look at it, they gonna pivot. So what I did to try, I said, well, if it has a limb saver silencer on there, it might help muffle it down a little more. But at the same time, guys, this bow is quiet. This bow is really quiet. It really surprised me how quiet it is with these limbs being in that movement. But what I did, I didn't have no limb saver, so I took some of that tubing I was talking about. I had a roll of that tubing back on your compound bows where it used to go from your peep sight down to your bow to keep your peep sight turned right back in the day. Well, I had a roll of that stuff. You see, it's just stretchy rubber. Well, I wrapped it around that limb about 4 times and tied it, because rubber makes a good silencer. And I tried it by moving it down and all the way up the limb and shot, just testing. That's one thing I like to do, is test things. Well, to me, right about where they say to put a limb saver, where it made the best improvement. Now, I think you could make another improvement by getting some other limb silencers like cat whiskers other than these rabbit furs. These rabbit furs and all that stuff, they kind of pretty, but they ain't enough there. It's just hair. It ain't in a little bitty strip of leather. To me, that ain't enough to dampen the vibration that like rubber will. But still, all in all, it turned out great, and it shoots great. I'm just showing you what I've done and what I tested. Now, if you seen on the first video, of course, I put the Velcro under the string and I padded up under the limbs for the contact points. But guys, this is one outright shooter of a bow. Sanlida knows how to build a bow, I can tell you that. And I see on other reviews that they say the Royal 8, the one piece, sure enough outperforms this. If it does, I mean, my goodness, I don't know. I don't know how they make them shoot like this. This bow's only $150. The Royal 8, I think, it's less than $150 if I remember right. And if it outperforms this one, it's no way you can buy a bow for $500 or $600 and outshoot these bows right here. It's no way. But guys, my final thoughts on it is I love it. Now, just like any bow, some of you know I just got into trad bow shooting this September 2024. Now we're close to the end of January 2025. But I've compound bow hunted, archery hunted all my life. And I've always wanted to kill a deer with a trad bow. Well, I ain't killed my deer yet, but I've been putting both feet in. When I get into something, I get into it. So this is the third trad bow, new trad bow that I've got. And I already had a couple old ones. There's one thing I tell you when you get one, I don't care if it's a one piece, ILF or what it is. When you get it out of the box and you assemble it, don't shoot it and think, hey, this bow's got a little vibration. This bow's a little loud. keep shooting that bow till you get your tiller, your brace height set. I mean, if it's ILF, you can play with your tiller like I did. I went from a 1/4 inch positive to a 1/4 inch negative. Shooting several times, playing with it to see what fit me best, what got it the quietest. But even on the other two bows that's just one piece bows, the more you shoot them, it takes them about 100 shots for everything to get settled in. And then you're going to get up one morning, you're going to walk out there and you're going to shoot and you say, dang, this bow's a lot quieter than it was. I don't know what it is. Out of 3 that I've got, after you shoot them about 100 times, get your brace height all fit in, it's like everything just settles in, string stretches in, quietens down. Speaking of string, you ain't gonna buy many bows, especially $150 bows that comes with a D97 Flemish twist string on them. Guys, I bought a couple of Flemish twist D97 strings for a bow that cost 3 times this price. Well, not 3 times, 2.5 times. And the string was 40 bucks. Now you could get them a little cheaper than that, but I got them from a respective person that makes them and makes nice strings. But the string's 40 bucks for a D97 string that come on our Flemish twist. So the bow is an outright flat shooter. Now we're going to go back out there and I'm just going to shoot a little bit more. While I go, I was just shooting my little round targets out there and I have my mic on. So yeah, it is. Everything's loud out there when that mic's right here clipped on my overalls pocket. Me walking in the leaves, the wind blowing and everything else. But I don't know. I would suggest if you are looking to get in traditional, just like I did this year, just maybe you want to try it out, I should have purchased this bow right here first. And I'm going to tell you why. Instead of purchasing a one-piece bow, I should have purchased this. Especially if you're a person that has money and says, well, I want me a custom-made bow. I'm going to spend me $800. You still need to buy this bow first. And let me explain why. You can get this bow, ILF, $150. That way you can play around and figure out what tiller works best for you. 1/4 positive, 8 positive, even, 8 negative, 1/4 negative. You can shoot split finger, you can shoot 3 under, you can change all that up. You can adjust your weight. Now, just like me, I could have got this bow in the 40 pound or 35 pound. And then I could have went from 35 to almost 40 pounds just in this one bow. Because if you ain't been shooting like me, I started out with 35. Well, it didn't take long shooting every day, 35, you know, I could move on up a little bit, you know, in the 40s. So you could do that with this bow. But you learning brace height, tiller. That way if you was going to order you a custom made bow, you done figured all that out on this good cheap bow. But the problem's going to be is if you find that $800, $1,500 bow and it comes in and you get to shooting and you say, well, that bow don't shoot no better than that $150 bow. Say, well, Papaw told me so. You just got a prettier bow, buddy. It ain't going to shoot no better. I don't care if you got a $5,000 bow. If you don't practice and you can't shoot, a bow ain't going to help you shoot. It's just like golf clubs. You can go to Walmart and get a set, or you can buy $2,000 and get a set. If you can't play golf, you can't play golf. I've done it. Same thing with bows. If you don't put your time into practicing, the equipment ain't going to help you. You got to be able to shoot first, and then you can move up if you want a nicer bow. But like I said, them expensive bows, you ain't getting a bow that shoots no better. You just getting a prettier bow, in my opinion. A prettier bow and the factor just to say I got a custom made bow or something. But anyway, guys, that's just my opinion. I mean, that's one thing I try to state here on my channel, my opinion. I'm more of a budget-friendly type person, live low scale all my life, and that's the audience I'm trying to show them things that they can get. This bow's made in China, yes. It's made in China. But the first bow I bought that I paid basically $400 for, y'all can go back and look at the videos. I ain't even gonna call it out in this video, but it's a great bow. Shoots great. Shoots just as good as this bow. But $400. Don't shoot a bit better than this bow. Not one bit. I could have bought 2 of these bows and arrows. And as far as me personally, I like to feel this grip better than the first one, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, the first bow I bought, some of you've been watching my videos, that long bow. I bought it in 35 pounds because I needed something weak. But where I made my mistake was, is I said, well, I'm going to go on and spend that little extra money, get me a little nicer bow. Well, it ain't no nicer, guys. I mean, it may be a little prettier. It ain't no nicer, and it's still not made in the USA. It may be sold through a company in the USA, made for them to sell, but it's made overseas. It's not made in the USA. That's the things I try to point out. But this bow, Sanlida Archery, from my research, is one of the biggest archery companies in China. I mean, they shoot in the Olympics. They make different bows. And on my last video, I put some of them up. But go to sanlidaarchery.com. They make compound bows. They make even higher dollar competition bows. They shoot in the Olympics. They shoot all kind of archery tournaments. They make awesome bows for their price. And it's amazing that we can get them for the price we get them over here in the United States. This for $150. That, like I said, that string right there, I bought 2, paid $40 a piece for them. Yeah. They were made by a fella here in the United States, but where do you think that string he used come from? It ain't made here in the United States. That's the problem with that stuff. But anyhow, you can't go wrong with this bow. I would suggest, if you don't know what you want, I wished I'd have purchased this bow first, right off the bat. And it was on my list, the 1 out of 3. I had 3 that I was going to choose from. And I went with the highest one. Wished I'd have went with this one. But guys, I'm finna go back out there and shoot a little bit. No, first I'm gonna disassemble my bow. Bad as I hate to, I'm gonna disassemble my bow and show y'all why you cannot get a ILF bow as quiet as a one-piece recurve. Now, I'm gonna pull this bow apart, and it's kind of snug since I put padding under it. But I'm gonna get y'all up here close and show y'all how these bows, and ILF means, if I ain't mistaken, internationally limb fit. Means any bow made by any manufacturer that sells these limbs, you can buy them limbs and stick on this riser, or you can stick this riser on them high dollar risers for them brand names. But I'm gonna show you why you are never gonna get a ILF bow as quiet as a one-piece bow. Now I'm hoping that zooms in good, but you see this all under there? That's aircraft aluminum, high strength aluminum. This is your boat. That's why I said it don't matter if you tighten that boat down all the way. It's not getting no tighter on that limb. It bottoms out. All it'll do is bust your riser. So you ain't got to go crazy thinking you're going to tighten that down and it's going to quieten your bow down. No, it's not. This riser right here, this limb right here, I'm sorry, going into the riser. Y'all see this little piece right here? It's got a U cut out. It sticks under there. Well, I got to screw my bolt back down. It slips in that slot. And your limb goes under that bolt. But the slot right here, that's a piece of aluminum going into a piece of aluminum. You can pad this right here where it makes a contact. But still, when that bow goes off and that limb got that little bit of movement, that aluminum is moving in that aluminum right there. That's one place. You cannot do nothing about it. I don't care what bows, who makes the bow. The other thing, you see this little push button right there? See how it pops in? It's spring loaded. I ain't gonna undo it, but you can undo this screw right here, and there's a spring in there pushing that little plunger. And what that is when you slide it in there, it goes in this little indentation to let you know you got your limb all the way in there. Well, there's no way you can pad that or you can do anything about it. Hear that little click? Well, it don't take much of a movement. I'm talking about, well, micrometers, whatever the word is for it. When that limb goes off and it's got a little movement, that little spring is moving and it's going to make some kind of sound. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And it don't matter if it's a $150 bow, if it's one of them Hoyt $1,500, $1,800 ILF bows. It's still the same, guys. That's why you're not going to get an ILF bow as quiet as you can a one-piece recurve. So know that up front. Now, with that being said, is this bow that loud? No, it's not. This bow ain't that loud. I'm just trying to point out some facts that I've seen other people say, and I'm like, guys, just look at the bow. It's common sense. It's common sense. I don't care who makes them. When you got a limb that comes off a bow versus, well, let's get stuff on top of it, versus a solid piece bow, it's no way it cannot be a little louder than a one-piece bow. That's just common sense to me. Which I know nowadays in the world of common sense is going down the drain, ain't it? But that's what I'm here at Papaw's place for, trying to teach a little common sense, and that's why I like doing reviews and pointing stuff out like that. Let me string my bow back up. Alright, let me make sure I'm right back to where I left off at here. And I'm not, because I never run the limb back down, bonehead. I was taking both limbs off, and then I decided, well, it wasn't no sense in taking both limbs off. I could just show y'all on one. And now I got to back off. Now I got to back off, because I had it about 44 pounds. I'm going to go around in a half. This is what they mean when you're backing off on it. You don't want to back off. I wouldn't back off over 2 rounds. You'll be done backed it off so much your bow blows up. This is why I really didn't want to take my bow apart. Now I got to get it all set back. Now I got to put a little twist in the string. Alright guys, I got it all set back up. That's why I really didn't want to take it apart, because once you take it apart, twist comes out of your string, you got to get it all set back the way you had it. Now in the first video I showed this bow comes with a little arm guard. Now guys, it ain't nothing fancy, it ain't real leather, but it will serve the purpose, because when you first start shooting a trad bow, you're going to be very proud of this, or you end up with some goose eggs right here. I don't have to use that no more. Now the bow stringer, I would advise you to use the bow stringer, that way you won't warp your limbs. I'm just going to leave it at that. You need to use the bow stringer. This is as good as any bow stringer on the market for the purpose it does. The little shooting glove it comes with. It's just nothing to it, but it will get the job done for you to start out shooting with. Now once you're going to start shooting, after you shoot a little while, you won't need this to learn how to shoot, but this will serve the purpose until you get to that point. The one thing I would do when you order the bow, if you're going to get in a trad bow, I would go on and get me a little better glove. This one will serve the purpose, don't get me wrong, but it's just thrown in there with the bow. They put their money in the bow and they put their money into the D97 string. This just gets you started. But you can buy a good glove for about $15. Matter of fact, I'll leave a link in the description below this video on a decent glove. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna shoot a little bit more. And then it's gonna be time, depending on what this wind's doing, if I'm gonna be able to hunt with this trad bow this season. I ain't been able to hunt with it. The evening I made the first video on this bow, I didn't have this one shot in enough to carry it. And then the wind's not been right for the one stand that I got to go trad bow hunt out of. So, depending on the wind fits in, I may take this evening, and good Lord's willing, something will come out and let me shoot. If it does, you'll see it on this video. But guys, I'm gonna go out there and shoot some more. Like I said, you can't go wrong. I can tell you right now, just from this one bow, and this is on the Sanlida bow I got, you can't go wrong with the Sanlida. I mean, it's quality. I mean, you talking about $150 here. You ain't talking about spending $500. Is that the prettiest wood grain? No, it ain't the prettiest wood grain. But it's all you need. And plus, like I said, $150. Do you want to spend $150 for an awesome bow, or you want to spend $500 for a bow that don't shoot no better than this bow, but just has a little prettier wood grain finish on it? It's all up to you. I'm just putting it out there like it is, guys. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's informational to you. I hope you listen to some of the stuff I say, and it saves you some time, money, and frustration. And as always, hope y'all have a great week and a blessed day. God bless. See y'all next time. Alright guys, I don't know how many of you seen the video I put up about this 8.4 pound turnip that was growing in my food plot. Now I don't know if this is the biggest one out there. I just seen 2 or 3 that day and grabbed them. Because I've personally never seen a turnip that big in real life. This is 8.4 pounds, and it was 2 more of them at over 6 pounds. We're going to set this turnip on top of that carpet target over there, and we're going to see what this Sanlida does to this 8.4 pound turnip. Now, I know it's windy out here, so I'm going to set y'all up there close, but I'm going to back off. Let's see. I ain't going to 15 yards. I'm going to back off 12 yards and shoot that turnip. Y'all ready? Right there, I penetrated. my goodness. I don't know if I can get this out of the turnip. Woo! I don't know. I think that air there is heavy enough too. Bow hunting, we're shooting 190 feet a second. It penetrated through that turnip. It would have punctured through any deer around here. And I like never got that out. Let's shoot that again. That's pretty fun. The both shots is 12 yards. So y'all can see I shot about 2 inches high. But you can't tell me that wouldn't penetrate no young doe. Golly, I ain't gonna shoot this no more. I can't get the air out. Yeah, turnip makes a good bow stop. Turnip makes a good air stop, guys, but it's hell to get it out of there, I can tell you that. We're gonna shoot old Bucky there. Quarter in the way shot. Let me get these glasses. I know y'all want to watch, but y'all in my way. Y'all gotta get down in there. Y'all can't be trying to see what's going on. Alright, here we go. Quarter in the way shot. Little bit of quarter, not big quarter. Oh yeah, I'd take that shot. Now I'm finna go out there and I'm gonna shoot quarter and 2 me shot. Well, I got an air out there. I better go get it. No, I'm gonna leave it. No, I ain't. Well, what old Jeff say on his channel, them arrows was almost touching. My problem was they was almost touching, but they wasn't where they needed to be. That one, the last one, right where it needs to be. All right, this one here is going to be for Sanlida herself. Sanlida bow, Sanlida arrows. See if I can put it where it needs to go. I'll take it, because that would have been a dead deer. I'll take that one too. I ain't neither one of them perfect. One's a little bit to the right, one's a little bit to the left. But I'd take both of them on a deer shot. All right, this one here is for Nicole. That's my Chinese kinfolks. Dang near perfect. See if I can do that again for her. Ain't perfect, but it's still a deer kill, baby. These two shot hands just from me. Now that one there is about as perfect as I can get. Y'all think I can do it again? Stop right now and go down there and put in the comments if y'all think I can do that again or not. Nope, about 2 inches to the left, but it's still in the good kill zone. Guys, I appreciate y'all. If you ain't never subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. You never know what you may see here at Papaw's place. And as always, see y'all next time.